Happy New Year everyone, it's Hero of the Streets here, bringing another video. If you like what I've been bringing out as well, and you feel like I've been giving you the sort of content you would like to see again, please like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated, and it'll be good for me to know that the content I'm providing is reaching people and people actually like what I'm bringing out. So yeah, I'm now going to pretty much do my rundown of the Shibuya incident part 51, so that's chapter 134. So now we pick up with Geto monologuing as he seems to enjoy doing, and he's talking about something new, which is maximum techniques, which are like, if we were to see cast techniques and have a fork in the road, left is the popular route, right is another route you can take. So left is the cursed domains and the right would be maximum techniques. So it's like the apex of your cursed technique essentially. And now Geto got a curse manipulation technique called Maximum Uzumaki, where all the curses get combined into one and it can hit. It's basically a large splash attack which can hit a lot of people with highly condensed cursed energy. Funny enough though, Geto starts laughing and then the person says, I realized I suddenly started acting like him. Like Yuji was like, wait, why is this guy laughing? It's kind of odd, but alright. And then he clocks, he really just got to keep him talking, because the longer he talks, I mean, the more he has to recover, because he knows
it's a bit of a sticky one still, obviously right now anyway. Maybe in the future that can change.
He got humbled very fast. So Geto keeps talking about Uzumaki Sin is very powerful and he can negate cursed spirit manipulation's advantage by doing it. So it's a bit of a drawback where essentially rather than having numbers at his disposal, he only got one because he combines them all into one. So rather than recycling low grade spirits, they actually show some snippets in the background which was not seen in Jujutsu Kaisen. That's actually in the prequel. Basically, he says that he can actually do something much greater when he uses Uzumaki on cursed spirits of semi-grade 1 or higher. And basically the technique is extracted. So now he finally eats Mojito and he looks up and he's like, oh, okay, the Kyoto gang are here. So reinforcements have arrived. I can't lie, they do well. I mean, the whole crew bar Todo, obviously. I feel like there's someone else who's supposed to be them that ain't there. But Todo, oh yeah, Mekamaru. Yeah. So bar those two, they arrive in it. And Blood Dude with the arrows, who got his eyes closed, does what you gotta do. They start their attack. And then the girl with the sword who fought Maki in the event where it was Kyoto versus the Tokyo Tech. When they had their battle, the girl with the sword, she comes in. And now one thing that made me laugh is that they did this whole little bit where it's like, if I remember correctly, I was the captain of the youth basketball team. My mother would do this. In junior high, I did this, and someone became a mentor, and I started learning about using a sword. And then since then, I've just been training to use this sword so I just don't die. And then the like new shadow style. Like I can't lie, the build up was hype. Yeah, I can't lie, the build up was hype. And then she's like, oh yeah, I put everything into this. Like, even if I never get to swing a sword again. And then Geto catches the move with one hand. It's all well and good that you had this little hype moment, but not only did Geto catch the sword with one hand, Geto crushed the sword with that same hand. And it's like, you know what, yeah, seeing as you're here, you're first. So it's like, maximum Uzumaki. Everyone knew this could be the end, because usually it was like crap, he's screaming, and then obviously the attack comes, but he's like, rah, new shadow style is nice. I feel like there's potential in this. And you see the damage of the maximum Uzumaki because a crater was left behind, but luckily in the nick of time, Kusakabe and the other teacher with the scar on her face, the one that Geto does not rate at all, he thinks she's useless, emerged just in the nick of time to save them. And so now the rest of the crew come up. So Panda, obviously, because he was with Kusakabe, comes up to Itadori. He's like, yo, Itadori? Like, yo, you straight? And he's like, Panda Senpai and Kyoto dude. So yeah, I'm not the only one. He calls them dude. But yeah, so now obviously everyone's glad that Itadori is in control of his body. It's funny because the Kyoto dude with the blood arrows here is just like, Gojo is a public nuisance. And he doesn't know who the guy in Geto's body is, essentially. Well, he doesn't even know who Geto is, because Panda's like, he looks like Suguru Geto, but I don't know who's on the inside. So they all know, I've come to terms with the fact that Geto is dead, but someone's in control of his body. It's good that that has happened, because obviously there's been a lot of questions about that. It didn't make sense. And then next page, Choso emerges, and he's seeing everything, and he's like, right, and obviously Geto, well, quote unquote Geto, is like, hey, how you doing, man? You good, Choso? And Yuji's like, shit, okay, he's here. And then they do a little bit of a background again. So they show you Choso's in the force, and he's thinking, okay, I have 3 parents. The mother, the person who held the curse that was put inside her, that impregnated her, and the man who mixed his blood with theirs and toyed with his mother, thereby earning his hate. You see an image. But it's funny because, like, I went onto Reddit. I didn't even know there was a theory about this, but I had no idea. And like, you see the images and you see they got the same sort of like markings on their forehead. Obviously like a sort of surgery, just removing the skull cap and that. And it makes sense given the goal of Geto, well, this Geto anyway, that they designed this guy to have a mustache similar to a known figure in history. I'm just gonna put it like that. I guess the idea is to put that in line and just emanate that sort of mindset, I guess. So I guess he's just no nonsense and very cold and cruel. Geto says, it appears that you have noticed now. And then Choso gets mad and he's like, yo, so that's the deal. Noritoshi Kamo. And now, can't lie, that's a big reveal, because I was like, wait, whoa. I can't lie, when I was reading this chapter, yeah, my mouth was open from this point. I was like, yo, this dude is Kamo Clan. He's another person from the 3 families. And then it's funny because everyone hears the name, yeah, and Yuji and Panda are looking at the guy with the eyes closed, yeah. That's like, you? That's your boy. Then they realize that this guy is the evilest sorcerer in history. You get that backstory and you learn that he's over 150 years old. So we got essentially an evil legend inside his body. And I just deeped it, yeah. Ghetto's moving like Voldemort. Geto is moving like Voldemort. One in a world just for curses. And even Geto being Geto back in the day in like Volume 0 in the prequel, he wanted a world of just pure sorcerers, no non-sorcerers about. So yeah, they're moving like Voldemort, and then there's Voldemort X. But yeah, I guess now continue the chapter as well, because Akabe clocks that it makes sense because this guy has ridiculous barrier techniques, ridiculously powerful curse tools like the prison realm, and for a mastermind with a curse technique that allows him to enter other bodies, it really does make sense that it'd be someone like him. So now Noritoshi Kamo has pretty much abandoned that name. He doesn't even care. Like, you can call me that. You can call me Bae, bruv. I don't care. I'm still gonna smoke you out. But yeah. So now Choso wants to take it to him and fight. And he's like, how dare you try and make me kill my little brother Itadori? And I wonder if people like who are infected with cursed objects have this sort of connection, because even the brothers felt like Itadori was a sibling somehow. I don't know why, but they did. And so it just makes me wonder why, like now, because either that or it's something related to when Itadori's grandfather passed. Because if that's the case, then we can tell that, alright, okay, cool, a sort of binding vow was placed on Itadori. But right now we only see the effect on his enemies. So yeah, I just wonder, maybe it's the whole help people thing, whether they're in trouble or whatnot. But yeah, you know what, that will just come up in my review. I'll talk more about that. But yeah, then some girl with white hair pops up. It's like, step aside, bottom feeder, don't make me wait any longer. And I can't lie, I don't recognize this girl. I feel like she has been there before, but I'm not sure I recognize her too tough. But yeah, so that's the chapter for 134. It's looking more interesting, and it looks like we're reaching the end of this arc. I mean, this arc has gone on for more than a year. This is what I'm saying. Like, think about it. You get a chapter every week. This is 51. And we had a little bit of build up as well. There's 52 weeks in the year. This has been insane and very exciting. So yeah, that's me for now, and I'll catch you guys later. Adios.